So, okay, guys. So I thought, this edit distance between two words. Okay. So there was this a big confusion on how to do this. What is the edit distance? How to find it? Find out the distance. And we know how to create the matrix. And after creating the matrix, how to do it. Okay. So this video will focus only on the edit distance kind of question. All right. Okay. I'll just take the screenshot of the. Okay. There you go. Okay. So this is a question that we are trying to find out. Okay. Since this is a long one, I'll take a shorter one and explain you guys how to find the edit distance. Okay. Meanwhile, yeah, here we have the slides. Using the slides, I'll teach you a little bit. So in order to find the edit distance, there are basically three operations, or I would say four. Okay. So one is insert, second is delete, another is substitute. Like you replace uh, a character, and fourth one is you do nothing. Okay. So I'll tell you more on this. Fine, there'll be a matrix which they'll try to do. Yeah, here. See, what is the uh, lowest edit distance between secret and bisect? So how to find out the edit distance between secret and okay, one second. Between secret and bisect. Okay. So I'll just put this here. Okay. By the way, what is this edit distance? Okay. So edit distance means basically, you have two words. SECRET. Okay. And another is BISECT. Okay. So we are trying to convert either secret to bisect or bisect to secret. So basically, you know, from point, let's say like you have a what is the distance? So you have a point A and point B, right? So what's the distance between point A and B? Let's say if it is 10. So if A is 10 kilometers away from B, same goes, right? B is also 10 kilometers away from A. So that is what the distance is usually calculated, right? So similarly, in order to convert secret to bisect or bisect to secret, you will get a value something called as which is called as edit distance. Okay, how much you have to edit the bisect or secret in order to convert, from one word to another. That's the whole point over here. All right. So and how can you edit? I told you we can insert, delete, and substitute. So these are the basic editing that we can do. You can insert, delete, or substitute. Okay. So the thing is we have to find the minimum. So the thing is if you want to convert secret to bisect, simply you can say like they are of all of length 6, right? So you can simply say I will replace everything. So let's say I'm going to take it secret. I'm going to convert it to bisect. So I can simply say I'm going to substitute S with B, I with E with I, B I. So S E C T. So if I do all the substitutions, okay, so I can do six substitute operations to do that. But if you see T and T are matching here, right? So you don't need to do the substitution, which means you can just do 5 substitutions, right? If you do 5 substitutions, it's more than enough to convert, secret to bisect. But can we do it in a much better way? Is that like if we do insert or delete or something like that, uh, will we be able to get convert from secret to bisect in a much smarter way, in much lower number of editing? Okay, so how to do that? You see here, so we can see that SECT, right? We have SECT. So we can simply say that you insert BI in front of the by I mean secret. You do 2 insertions and you do 2 deletions. Okay, BISECT. Now see, you are able to see that, right? We have converted from secret to bisect. Okay, so what did we do? We did two insertions, which means first we inserted b, then we inserted I, then we didn't do anything, then we are deleting R and E. So then we did not do anything. So seems like, see, now just with four edit options, you were able to convert it. So this is the optimal thing. Okay, and how to find out this minimum edit distance? See, what is there? That is the minimum most is going to be called as the edit distance. Okay, and how to find out that particular value? So that is what we are going to look at with this example. So basically, you see, you write secret and you put one more column with a dot, and here be it left or right doesn't matter. Okay, so coming, how do we fill up this table? Okay, so I'll just show you how it is done, and we'll take more examples. Okay, this is just an example for you guys to understand. So the last column you fill it with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, just fill it right, straight away. Nothing you need to do. So now we'll start filling up from bottom to up top. Okay, so what you have to put here is uh, basically 1 plus the minimum of the three surrounding three. So the minimum of these two is, I mean, what is the minimum? Okay, wait, let me do it here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So if you want to fill this, you should look at the right next bottom one and the diagonal one. So you don't have at the bottom, so you just take the right of it, 1 plus the minimum of the three, so which is 1. Okay, so you come to this point, so you have three of these. So what is the minimum, which is 0, 0? And see, first thing you also need to check whether, or you can directly fill the last column, so that it's going to be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is just the dot thing, right? So you're seeing that you have a T and you have a T. So if T and T matches, so you take the, see, whatever you have in the bottom, you take it up directly. Okay, there is no change. So T and T is there, means there is no change. So you take it here. All right. Now C and T doesn't match. As I told you, 1 plus the minimum, right? The minimum is 0. So you take 1 plus the minimum, which is 1. Let's confirm that. See, that's what I was about to tell you. Then what are you doing? You're seeing E and T. If E and T is a match, and it's not a match, right? So you take the minimum, 1 plus the minimum. So similarly, you do that. Okay. So 2, 3, because S and T doesn't match and the minimum is 2, and I and T doesn't match and the minimum is 3 plus 1. Okay. So B and T doesn't match and the minimum is 4 plus 1. Okay, now we come to this point. So T and E, so you don't have a match, right? What's the minimum of the three? It's 0, 0 plus 1. So let's confirm it here. See, it's correct, right? Now you come to this point. So again, C and E doesn't match. So what's the minimum of the three? It is 0 plus 1. Okay, so E and E match here. You do remember, if we have a match, what we have to do? Whatever you have in the diagonal, just take it up. Okay, that's something which you need to do. Okay, now S and E. Okay, so what is S and E? They don't match. So I'm just filling this up. Okay, I mean I and E you have, they don't match, right? So what do I do? It's 3, correct? I mean 2 plus 1. So B and E doesn't match. So this is going to be 4. So this column, let us try to fill up by ourselves, and finally we'll verify that. Okay. So for T, if we go to T, hmm, T and R doesn't match. Minimum plus 1, which is going to be 2. C and R doesn't match. Again, it's going to be 2. E and R doesn't match. Again, it's going to be 2, because the minimum plus 1. So S and R doesn't match. Still, it's going to be 2. Okay. I and R doesn't match. Minimum is 3. Okay. B and R doesn't match. So it's going to be 4. All right. Let's verify that 432 triple two. Let's check that. 432 triple two. Yeah. Similarly, I believe that you guys will be able to fill up the remaining. Don't worry, I'll take a smaller example. Wherein we fill all the things. Okay. Now, once this is filled up, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. Okay. And yeah, I'll just put this above. Okay, great. Hmm? So how do we? Okay, now we have filled this. Okay, the the one, whatever the value you're getting at the top right. I mean top left. That is going to be the edit distance. Okay, edit distance. Okay, edit distance of secret and bisect is equal to 4. That's the distance between the things. But how would we find out what operation we have to do? Either insert or delete or substitute. How do you find that out? Okay, so there is this method. Okay, so let's say that you're coming from top to bottom. Okay, I'll just give the hints here. Okay, if you yeah, if you travel from top to bottom. Okay, so if you travel from top to bottom, yeah, fine. Top left, yeah, top left to bottom right. Okay. Um. So see the point how you have to do is first thing is, so how did you arrive at this four? Wait, how did we reach this? How did we fill up this four? This we filled up this four because B and S wasn't matching, and we added one to the minimum. So which means we came from the bottom. This was the minimum, right? So I'll tell you again. Okay, how did we get this three? Okay, so S and I doesn't match. So this three was basically one plus the minimum, correct? So and the minimum is lying at the below. Okay, so another thing is that how did we end up with two? So S and S are same. So we came from the diagonal. Okay, so E and E are same, which means we came from the diagonal. So C and C are the same, which means we came from the diagonal. And T and R, they don't match. That means we came from the minimum of the three. The minimum is lying on the right hand side. Similarly, T over here and E over here. So we came from the minimum, right? So that means the minimum is here, right? So T and T is a match. So it is like this. Okay. So now see, we have three different kinds of lines. So one is the straight line, one is the slanting line, right? And another is the horizontal line. So straight line means that we did the delete. Okay, thinking that you came from top to bottom. Okay, and then the slanting line means that you either substitute or no change. Okay, so I'll tell you about this. So okay, I'll write it here only. Mhm. Vertical travel means, okay, delete operation. Okay, then horizontal travel. Horizontal travel means, so it means the bottom one here. Okay, so that's an insert operation. Okay, then what's the one? So now you have a diagonal travel. Okay, so basically diagonal travel has two parts. Okay, so diagonal travel has two parts. The first part is that if the diagonal equal to the current element, no change. Okay, so in this case, you see, I'll give an example of this is clearly explained here. See, you don't have a, here is also 2 and here is also 2. So which means there is no change. Here is also 2, here is also 2, which means no change. And the other thing is that if the previous is less than the current diagonal value, okay, it means a STI okay, it means a substitute. Oh my god, fine. Then the current diagonal value. Oh, I mean, sorry for that. If the I'll write that here. The previous diagonal less than the so if the previous diagonal is less than the current diagonal, it means a substitute. See, I'll just highlight the points that we have mentioned. So see, previous diagonal less than the, so from here you read it here. So less than the current diagonal, then it means a substitute. Okay. So vertical travel, it's a delete operation. Horizontal travel, it's an insert operation. So come here. So you so what did I tell you? We are okay. So we do from, how do we travel here? So from top to bottom. Okay. From, so which means it's a delete delete. So you are doing two delete operations. One second. Okay, guys. So we are back. Okay. So if we do like this, so here basically we are converting from bisect to secret. Okay. So we saw earlier, right? How do we convert secret to bisect now? So for this matrix, so if you are traveling from bottom to top, then it means like you are converting from bisect to secret. Hold on. All right. So seems, now let's look at this. Okay. So what do you do from here to here? It's a it's a delete operation, right? You're coming in a horizontal way, right? So then again you do a delete operation. So as I told you, this is the same, same. It's a substitute. No, sorry, not a substitute. It's do nothing, right? I'm gonna put an hash for that. So here do nothing, here do nothing. So two and two they are same. Still do nothing. Okay. And see, now here it's a horizontal travel, which means it's an insert operation. Again another insert operation. Now you have an hash. So basically, what are the editing that you are doing? Delete, delete, and insert and insert. Okay. Now let's see that. Okay. What did I tell you? We are converting bisect. So whatever on the left hand side, they are trying to convert it to right hand side. Okay. Bisect and secret. So how do you convert that? Now what are the operations we have here? It's delete and delete. So delete, delete. So I did two delete. Then what are you saying? Don't do anything for the three things. Okay. So I'm not doing anything for the three things, which means it's similar, right? So then you have a two insert statement, which means what are we supposed to insert? R and E. Okay. So this is how you come up with this. Okay. So we'll also explore one more example to make it much more clear for the substituting value. Okay, I'll take an example of tray versus 4. Okay, so tray versus 4. All right. So now let us draw the thing for this. Okay. So I'll just draw this. TRAY. Okay. FOUR, which means like we need to have one more, right? I didn't put that. Just 1 minute. right? Okay, so we'll have a star over here, we'll have a star over here, right? So we start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. This doesn't matter. Okay, so R and Y, they don't, they are not similar, correct? So which means we take the 1 plus the minimum of the 3. I'm going to use a different color. So let me use green. Okay, so 1 plus the minimum, which is 1. Okay, so here U and Y doesn't match. Basically, you see F O U R T R A Y. So they are completely, totally irrelated, but except for R and R are matching, right? So let's not do that. Okay, fine. So U and Y, they don't match, so it's 2. O and Y doesn't match, so it's 3. Okay, right? F and Y doesn't match, it's 4. Okay, R and A, they don't match, so it's 1 plus the minimum, which is 2. U and A doesn't match, so 1 plus the minimum, 2. O and A doesn't match, 1 plus the minimum, which is 3. F and A doesn't match, 1 plus the minimum, which is 4. Okay, so we come to R and R, they are a match. So what did I tell you? If there is a match, you just uh, take the take the ones present in the diagonal. Okay, so U and R doesn't match, you take the minimum of the 3, which was which is sorry, minimum of the 3 plus 1, right? So it's 3. Okay, and O and R doesn't match, so it's going to be minimum of the 3 plus 1, which is 4. Okay, so F, minimum of the 3 plus 1, which is 4. Okay, so our FOUR doesn't match with T, so you just take the minimum plus 1, minimum plus 1, minimum plus 1, so minimum plus 1. So how did what did I tell you guys? So I told you whatever you're getting at this position, that is the edit distance. Okay, edit distance equal to 4. Okay, so but how would we know what edit operation to do? Okay, I should be delete, insert, or substitute. So in this case, let's see that how to do that. Okay, so see, you have a TRAY. How, I'll tell you how my friends were, trying to convert it. Okay, so we have R and R match. Okay, some people were trying to do it like so TRAY. So they were saying, Gokul, why don't we, do 3 deletions, or if we are trying to convert from 4 to, okay, let's do the other way. So from tray to 4, if you want to convert from tray to 4, you delete T and insert FOU. Okay, and then you delete 2 more, which means what? 1 delete, okay, 3 insert I, okay, and then you do and not, and then 2 delete. See, look at this, there are 6 operations. Man, that is too much, right? The length of the word itself is just 4. So even if you do a 4 substitutions, that's more than enough, right? 4 substitutions is more than enough. Okay, so some people like who little bit understood this will tell that we can insert to I mean F and O you can insert. Okay, then T you will replace with replace what you're trying to convert it, replace T with U. So that means replace means substitute. So I'm saying F you inserted, O you inserted. Instead of the T, you substitute it with the O, and then you already have an R, do nothing. So you delete the next things. Okay, so which means delete and delete. So here also you have 5 operations, right? Which is also, again I told you, it's just 4 things, right? So if you are having, so if you're having such a scenario while you insert and delete and substitute, so the maximum edit distance that you should probably get is basically the length of the biggest uh, character or the letter or sentence. Okay, so let's explore this. Okay, the best thing is to instead of doing it manually, you just try to do it with using the mattress. Okay, so how did we arrive at this 4? So it was F and T doesn't match, so we came from the minimum of the 3. So which means here O and R doesn't match, which means we came from the minimum. Here U and A doesn't match, so which means we came from the minimum. Here R and Y doesn't match, which means we came from the minimum. So okay, okay, see, in the earlier case, the earlier one, so the diagonal, they were equal, correct? So what have I told? If the previous diagonal is okay, this is an, it's not if, this is is equal to the current diagonal element. If the previous and current is equal, then no change, right? So other thing is that if the previous diagonal is, if the previous diagonal um, is less than the current diagonal, suppose that's what we have in this case. See, previous diagonal is less than the current diagonal, then what do? We do a substitute, right? So that's what I have told. That means it's a substitute, which means we are having 4 substitute operations.